Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
Came in, but it knocked him up to the wrong side.
Yeah, now Sponge looking to pick up the Scuttle Crab. Canyon finds him.
Yeah, Canyon gonna go in on this one. Keen is here as well, even though he's really low. Now Sponge gonna take a big shock blast. The flash over the wall should come through eventually, but now flash on into Keen, and it's gonna be Canyon who gets first blood, and the knockback goes on to Rich, and now you've got Chovy here, and UCal can't do anything, and Rich wasn't
GenG's bot lane playing it better. It's like the mid lane matchup. Ryze is pretty fine in the Ahri, and yet Chovy has a 50 CS lead.
How did that happen?
Yeah, that's something, that's something I've said for a while. If you're a GenG fan and you only watch GenG games, which is, there's a lot of fans who only watch their own team games, it's completely fine. But your opinion of matchups, especially in mid lane, must be so skewed. Like, you're watching this, you're like, I guess Ahri just counters Ryze,
I think Chovy just counters everyone else. That's kind of the opinion you should have.
I think that's
100%. But even if he does fall behind, it's kind of like, well, he's still going to have a big fight, and then they're going to win the game.
I think the big thing is just his ability to take matchups where so many of the players would just farm it up, it'd be relatively even, and he's really pressuring for every CS.
Yeah.
Really challenging. He's not letting you farm for free. And I think that's really what makes it so much harder to play into him, Because we've seen a lot of matchups where even when one mid lane is better than the other, there's not a huge difference we see in the lane. It's just kind of like they both farm up, they both become strong. Maybe the better mid laner has more value in team fights, but we don't really see that here. Oh, Keen, a little bit trapped.
Gets the knockback. Canyon's here. The shock blast does miss. Canyon level 6. Now we got to fight down on the bottom side. Duro's still not caring. He's going to hold up the door. Maybe he cares now. And yes, he will. He gets taken down. Just in a straight up 2v2 as well. Now we got to dive up on the top side. Canyon, though, is going to flash. And guess who's here? It's UCal. And eventually should be able to take down Keen.
Wait, I think he gets the execute here.
Really? Might actually just be able to walk it off. Yeah, he gets executed. Now Canyon gonna dash on over. He's got Chovy here.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, that's so sad.
If UCal had his flash from earlier, he would have just killed Keen there outright. Movement speed is 400. You get 20 extra adaptive force.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you have any ways to boost your movement speed, which, Jace does, Ahri does, Lucian does, even Braum does. I mean, Braum's not really going for adaptive force, but...
What do you mean, Q-Max Braum? You're doing damage, man.
It's one of these things where you're just getting, essentially, for 500 gold, you're getting about how much you would spend on that much adaptive force, and you're getting the 10 movement speed. And then anytime, like, if Jace goes through his gate, he gets even more.
Sponge gonna go for the subjugation here, but he is taking a ton of damage anyway. The stun comes out. They're going very deep for this, though, and Sponge lives. And now we have the ults coming out here from Ondil, just trying to peel. Lazyfield getting out as well. A bit of a 1v1 on the top side. UCal versus Canyon. And now Ondil gonna get charmed up. He stuck around for way too long trying to peel for the team. And he is the sacrifice. Will be blue buff on top of it for GenG.
This is the skirmishing power of this DRX lineup coming through. Just damage here. UCal zoned away, Lazyfield zoned away, and then Andal's kind of stuck in the mixer. The Braum passive hits, the charm hits. Oh, now look at Chovy. He has no ult.
He does have a blast cone, but there's 3 people around him. Even UCal denies it. He heard me. Yeah, Chovy's just dead. I don't know how he ended up in this spot. They're trying to give the kill over to Sponge, and Chovy will be successful in that. But still, it's a big shutdown here for the Trundle.
Yeah, didn't see how that ended up happening. Mistake from Chovy and a good fault for taking the blue buff and putting it there as bait.
Canyon's just trying to get a POM. Can you blame him?
Actually, if that's his play, smart.
Can you blame him? This is the Xin Zhao, but there are 4 people here. Engaged from Ondil, but they're going pretty deep for this one into Xin Zhao and Braum, who are not taking damage. Canyon, finally, they get into the circle and they take him out. But look at everybody's health bar. Only Braum is going to go down alongside of it. And now Lazyfield is left alone. He does flash away from this one. But GenG get the better of it because all that damage would
kill Jace. That's a lot of gold taken off. Oh, their team fighting with Yorick. Well,
hell yeah. All right, the engage comes in. Canyon, again, the target here. Not sure about that. Ondil already dead. He's just gone. But Duro as well getting low. Chovy, he's got a couple of dashes still left over. Although he did take some poke damage from them. Now the re-engage does come in. Sponge going to put down a pillar. Just wants to kill the Drake. But this is so all over the place for DRX. They're killing the Drake. They're killing... Oh, no. And no TP comes out here. It's just a full ace as everything goes wrong for DRX. GenG just sweep them.
Yeah, I think that's the moment we were waiting for. And I think
highlight 2.
They're just team fighting. They bring the Yorick in just because they want a fist fight.
They didn't have to pick the Rel. They could have picked something else. Could have played Renata or Nico or anything. Yukal just being chased down here. He doesn't have flash. He doesn't have his Rel Morph, and he's just dead. So, yeah, just face check the bottom tribe
So
rush.
Keen, you know, we talked about the Boots of Swiftness, that extra AD. You're now getting the extra AD from the petals, and you got 8,000 gold ahead.
Yeah, it might have something to do with it. We do have Rich in a bad spot here. Gets charmed. He is pretty tanky. He's also going to flash, and he does get away. Duro here, though, as well, so no revenge to be taken by DRX.
Duro has 100 AD. This is a strong brawl. Well, okay,
Yeah.
I mean, Keen has 350. That's a lot more.
Adaptive Force Braum.
He's got so much attack.
One Shock Blast. Wow. In a lazy feel.
That's a lot of damage.
Hey, Seraph's Embrace just finished for you, Cal. We're going to have a team fight here. Sponge nearly dies to one phase combo, but the pillar! Oh! He gets the shutdown for LazyFeel. Look at Canyon as well in a really bad spot. Well, I say that. He kills LazyFeel, actually. In goes Chovy. I think GenG are definitely having their fun with this one. As the Rel Morph does come in, Chovy now in a 1v3 scenario, and is still going to get the kill.
Still alive!
He still is! There's just no damage here for the side of DRX, and that is, again, an ace. This time it's not clean as two of them die, but I don't think GenG care.
Yeah, I mean, killing Keen at the start of the fight, a pretty good strategy when you're not 10,000 gold down, but unfortunately too far behind, even with the Jace taking off the cards. Chovy just cleans up the fight, doesn't die, keeps getting the resets. And that, you know, I talked about it being so...
The watch was when LazyFeel flashed over to help kill Canyon, and Canyon just one rotation clapped him from half health. LazyFeel
40 petals right now for GenG. That's a good amount of adaptive force.
Hey, but Chovy missed his charm.
Duro has 105 AD. You know, I talked about, like, who would win in melee range, Duro or LazyFeel? I think it's still LazyFeel. I hope it's still LazyFeel. That's a strong Braum, though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is a buff Braum.
So they're just baiting Baron here. It's still very early as Baron just spawns. And they're just going to look to turn onto Ondil, who says, well, I'm going to press my buttons and hope that somebody saves me. Canyon just frontlining here. Big Braum ultimate on the engage. And now they're not going to get away again as they're all stuck in the circle. And it's just lights out from here. The TP comes in onto the bottom lane. Rich has his head in his hands. It's not a good field, down 14,000 gold, 26 minutes into the game. And yeah, that's game one. GenG, pretty good at this game.
Safe to say, I think. I think that's a pretty, you know, we sometimes say some outlandish statements, but I think we're pretty secure quickly.
Yeah.
I think the Xayah would have been a great pickup. I think the Senna is just a little vulnerable. That being said, you can, if you're able to do it, you know, when knocked him
lane, as is expected. And the top lane somehow still pretty even, actually. Chovy taking a good trade here onto Yukal.
I thought Chovy was so low, and there was such a health advantage from Yukal. Yukal willing him down, and then one trade, and it's evened out. But now, Chovy doesn't have cooldowns for a little longer. This is a great gank angle.
Yeah. Chovy now realizing the spot he's in. Not a lot of hope for him. That's first blood given over to Sponge. Nice wrap around there, and Chovy will be punished. Trying to crash that wave. Sometimes. They're just going to take this Drake here. Early Ocean. Definitely going to make some of these lanes easier. This is my angle here for Canyon, but like the grubs then.
Yeah.
So we have the confirmation. Ruler got all the plates solo.
Okay, so he has a lot of gold.
Yeah, that's 500 gold from plates.
But we
for one player.
don't have confirmation of how many the most targets Canyon has hit with his passive.
Yeah. Keen getting bullied up here on the top lane. I think he will go down. The knockup comes in, and it's a nice little dive here from Sponge to help out Rich even more in that top lane.
This is kind of the trade-off, right? Rich has managed to pick up a massive farm lead over Keen, and it's the trade-off where Ruler, he's very fed, but Rich is now getting very fed. Rich is going to get some plates alone in the top lane. GenG are going to take this tower on the bot side, and will get feats of strength if they are first here, which they should be, yeah.
Yep. Tristana and two people hitting it. Definitely going to outdo the Gnar. We do have a little bit of a setup here, but that's a Gragas who just runs away.
I think,
this Billy.
You know, the caveat I will say in this situation is normally like, okay, fed Gnar, fed Tristana, money on the Tristana. But the one thing I get excited about a lot of things. He is pretty excitable.
Especially if it's a green basket. Little engage here over the wall from the Sponge. It's a lot of damage going into Kenny. It's being thrown around like a rag doll. And now the ult comes out, but he has to flash away. It's all disengaged here from the side of Chovy as now TP comes in from Keen. Re-engage angle looking for you, Cal, but it's only Keen in the front line as now GenG trying to get away. Flash by Chovy over the wall. No kills, though, going the way of DRX. I feel like they should have been able to get something from that. At least they're going to win the fight and look to push with this Rift Herald.
Wait, that's a center in there. Okay, fine. Yeah, the probably was there for the coverage. A little bit of a scattered engage came out there from, don't fear the comment on that. DRX setting up for it. I'm not sure GenG really can do much to fight this. You can see Chovy pushing the side lane. He could TP in. I think they're just going to let it go.
Just take the turret and just let them have one. I think that's fine, but as you did mention, it is a bit of a pretty nice soul and individual Drakes for DRX, so they will very much enjoy each and every one of them. It's now Rich facing off against Keen, who he's very far ahead of, but still is going to be backed away on. UCal did TP top, so no turret take here for GenG.
I think DRX, honestly, in a pretty good spot. You know, they got the gold lead, able to pick up that dragon there. If GenG start... Oh.
Nice buffer.
Oh, the ult from Andil?
Oh, but Duro over the top, and now it's the counter engage as even LazyField gonna flash and just die. And Ruler gets the kill. It's worst case scenario. As Chovy also comes in here, showing his support with his ult. Not gonna end up doing much, but GenG, it's a nice kill to shore up some of that gold deficit they had.
Yeah, great play there from Duro to find LazyField just overstepping a little bit. They're like somewhat disrespectful there and flash too late to respond. And now Brendan.
20 minutes into the game.
That is not a good number.
It's not really acceptable.
LazyField is 70 CS down.
Sponge is here. I think Keen is about to get a really rough wake-up call as the ult goes the opposite way. Maybe he just knew he was dead anyway, hit the minions. As Andil, well, he's getting a lot of... Okay, that's the reset to Ruler. As a lot of shots went into the Gragas.
Ruler has a 2-level lead. Starting Atakan. Rich does have TP. Might have to use it here.
Sponge is miles away. He's so far away. Can he even get through Chovy to the objective on time? As over the top goes Duro. The TP is coming in there, looking to turn onto UCal. Galio comes in as well. Ruler did get stunned up against the wall, though. Not doing damage for a while. Has to jump away after getting pretty low. Nisadakan also getting very low, but Andil is as well. Big Gnar ultimate, and Poppy to knock them away. But the re-engage from Chovy taunts 4, but no follow-up comes through. But the Otacon still goes the way of Canyon. Not a good-looking fight here for GenG, though, as Ruler does go down, and they're going to clap Gwen as well. And Chovy is left all alone, and he will eventually be taken out, so should be a lot of levels given over to the side of LazyField. At least DRX win the fight.
Yeah, DRX with a good fight there, able to punish Gen.
It's carry Poppy angle now. Sponge 4-0-3, 100% kill participation. And now Keen, rough spot. He's got Nocturne to help out, though, and maybe they go a bit deep, but everybody seems to be here. On the side of DRX, UCal gets low. Duro has to flash out of this one. Cask over the top. Not going to keep them around. So DRX try to force that fight, but doesn't quite work out for them.
Yeah, flash down on UCal here, so can be a little bit vulnerable. But it just feels like GenG, you know, banning a summoner is not necessarily enough because they end up losing that dragon. No real motivation for DRX to fight again for a while. If they find a pick on the UCal, great, but he seems to be surviving so long. Canyon's so weak. You look at the items, doesn't even have a second item yet. Neither does Chovy. The threat of these two diving in just feels a little bit muted at the moment.
Yeah, this Hexplate doesn't seem to be getting that much value.
DRX to punish him. TP comes in, they are looking for this Gnar. I think it's...
Sponge is nearby. Boomerang gonna hit. They can still try to commit to this, but hop away by Rich.
Oh, this
Chovy
is bad.
Does start using that early, and now the turn is coming in. And look at this, we got Keen all alone as the knockaway comes through from Sponge, and Rich picks up another kill. Even throws out a little emote.
Sponge is just having such a good game right now on this Poppy.
He is feasting. The opposite of famining, and Duro is just going to be fine. He still has this all. A ton of damage still coming up from Ruler. They still have to be so careful of this one Tristana. The one person on GenG that exists in this game.
Yeah, it's basically just try and make plays when he's not there, and when he's there, give him a lot of respect. Keep distance, don't really aggress into him. Give him a lot of space. Right now, 60 CS lead between the 80 carries.
Trying to go on a UCal here. It's only Ondil nearby. And this is the dive comp. DRX getting caught in rotation. And that's another kill over to Ruler now.
Did they just go Baron?
Oh, there's some pain.
Solo Dragon out here. And I think GenG starting this would be a bit risky, but they look for a can't taunt flash anymore, Chovy.
They look for a what? Excuse me?
A fight.
Yes. I mean, Canyon's trying to run over.
He was looking for Teemos in the brush.
But Sponge is there. He can try to ult in. That's very close, but yeah, it's a little bit too late there for Canyon.
Chovy was looking for Teemo.
He's just going to go in, and he's got a Galio eventually, right? Okay, there we go. Canyon getting pretty low, though. It's a broken up fight, but now we got a taunt on this back line. Sonya's comes in. They are fine, and Ruler's just doing damage to the front line. Not so much just yet. As you see, Keen getting some work done in that back line, but he's going to go down. As it was a very big overextension from GenG, and DRX are looking to punish. Duro looks like he is going to flash, but the follow-through. Oh, nice taxi there onto the blue buff. I think he actually does get away, but now we got pings on the Baron, and DRX won it.
Looking real rough, you know. Yeah, they see Ruler moving over. Blue team's going to come through, and Chovy has TP.
It's kind of difficult to zone away Ruler, but Ruler also can't just face check into 5 people. No vision on the Baron just yet, but they're trying to get it for him as a ward comes down. Rich gonna actually zone him away. And now he's gonna ult over the top though, and it goes over to Sponge. They do secure it, but what about the fight? We got a big taunt in the pit, and Chovy just keeps them all around. Sponge in a lot of trouble. The Ruler, he jumps into the wall. Not gonna get anything there. Keen does get the bounty, by the way, on Lazy Feel. And now we got Sponge. Everything is missing here for Keen, but the important part is that he keeps him around. He missed every single needle! Every one! And that means that Chovy has to flash. He does get 1,000 gold for it, though.
He was just donating the gold to Chovy. In that situation.
Good call, I think.
Keen, you know, sometimes you have a situation where you're put behind in the game, you're down in gold, but you're still hitting your skills. Not so much for Keen. A little bit of a rough one there, but the team comes counterpoint. The Dragon fight, Ruler wasn't able to do anything. This fight, Rich wasn't able to. These are the 2 most fed members on both teams. And it feels like we just saw back-to-back teams unable to facilitate them.
Yeah. I mean, you understand Rich's point of view. He did get the stun on the Nocturne, but it's still Nocturne. He's still able to ult in the pit. You're not going to get that out. As now we got a Nocturne ult trying to save Chovy. It's not going to do anything.
Okay, big pick. Able to find that kill, denying some of this Baron pressure. I mean, sorry, it's them with the Baron. I saw the Baron power play, minus 2,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That is a lot. That's a big minus. They do still have the Baron on Rich, though, so hopefully they can pick a bit of that up. And now can use, with Chovy down, they can use some of their Baron pressure to get this down.
We got there eventually.
In the end.
It does make sense. You know, Chovy, he's got a death cap. He's relatively fed himself. Not as much as Ruler, obviously, but the 2 of them, Keen and Ruler, are able to come forward. That's a big cast, but it's only going to get Alistar, who just ults away. They're using everything onto the ulted Alistar, literally everything, including the Senna ult. And now, they're just holding the helicopter and trying to back away. And they're the ones with the Baron trying to put on pressure, but that's going to end their
significant stacks here. But 106 at 33 minutes doesn't feel amazing.
Yeah.
We are looking at Chemtech Soul potentially in 30 if DRX can secure it.
A little engaged here, but that is a Poppy waiting for his opportunity as now we have the dive coming in, and UCal in a lot of trouble. He's taking damage, goes golden, but Canyon is in the back line, Keen's in the back line, and they're just chipping away at these front lines. Canyon is going to be taken out finally, but look at the health bars of DRX. Ruler only finally gets here, and now the real damage will be coming through as Sponge, incredibly tanky, but he's looking for Lazy Feel. He's getting the jump offs. As the explosion should go off and kill Rich. There it is, and he takes down Ondil. And that is exactly the fight that GenG were looking for.
Quadra kill, no Penta. I know Ruler's going to complain about that one. Looked a little bit precarious, that fight, engaging before Ruler was even there. You know, your Fed carry, but it's just on it. He arrives, he cleans up, the health bars are low, the setup was done. And I think Canyon and Chovy in particular got a huge amount of value there. Get on the Lazy Field. And it feels like that might be the point where really DRX start to question whether they're still in this game in favor of GenG. But these little things building up. And we're sort of getting to the point where Keen is relevant. You know, wow. Oh my God.
Are they just going in on the Sponge? I mean, he is going to ult him away, and now Canyon has to just back out. Sponge is very low now.
Yeah, that's a signal to start Baron if I've ever seen them. Hopefully going to look for some honey food to grab on the way. But he needs to be here, and he does not have the health to do so.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing the wolves, just trying to get some, yeah, it's just gone. I mean, look at the damage, it's insane! From the Gwen and the Tristana. It's enough, and they get Baron for free. They just needed a couple of ults as now the engage comes in on a Canyon, but that's not necessarily the target you want. The follow-up from Duro is huge! And now you just have the Galio over the top. This is how this composition functions as we get the resets coming through for Ruler. And Blazyfield, he's all alone. That's a triple, looking for the Penta. We have these, it seems like, every day now. But I don't think he's going to be able to get it unless we have Rich giving it over, which we know he won't. It's only a triple, but it's looking good still for GenG.
Looks like they're going to be able to close this one out. Only Sponge and Rich to defend. This is their chances to make it a Legend group, to make it to the road to MSI. Fading away. We're trying to defend the base. Not many minions.
Canyon's like, do I ult here? It's like, never mind. That's going to be the end of those two players, and GenG will just end the game right here. A good try by DRX. You have to hand it to them. From DuckDom. And I feel like this has been a good look for him.
Man,
because the rest of the team does stuff, and he's just in the back not dying. Not week 10, as you may have thought. I guess technically it is, but we don't call it that.
Yeah.
It is the 10th week. Kingen's in a lot of trouble. The flash on in, Kingen is just not even gonna flash away. Just accepts his fate. KT, they collapse and take him down.
And Peter feels fine about this because he just unlocked Hex Flash. Scared to do something.
No.
Not once in his life.
Never.
Maybe a pull on Genshin. That might have intimidated him.
Well, Lahen seems to want to go in, but no route is gonna happen. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a 2v2, and it's early game Ezreal Jhin, so it's not a whole lot of damage. The map here for KT. DuckDom and Peter are totally fine, although he did miss that. Now we got a Pantheon ganking in onto Perfect, who does not have Flash, already used it, and is just going to turn and die. It's not first blood, but Kingen will get his revenge.
It's the thing with having that receiving end of Kingen's damage, because he's able to proc it more easily.
I do see a big setup here on the Grubs. KT were hiding on bush with 3 of them. Now we get the stun light coming in from Lahens, and now Peter not level 6. He's in a lot of trouble on this Alistar. He's going to be the first to go down, cuz in the thick of it against 4 people, but he's able to get some secure help from his team. As now we got a wall coming down. We got the Jhin ult as well. They're being corralled up against it. As Gideon is solo, the flash though from BDD secures it. And that'll be KT winning the fight here. Looks like Vital not able to do too much on the back end.
Yeah, a little bit of a scuffed engage from the tower as he got headbutted under, so could have been a little precarious.
Little smite angle here. Should be easy. As Lahens is going to go in, we do see Cuz in a lot of trouble, and he uses his ult very late. And that's just going to be BDD and DuckDom running away.
Good moves from Lahens there, like chain the CC
well. K-Ram. We all enjoy a little bit of K-Ramming. But Perfect moves up. He doesn't have TP. Now we're going to have the engage on the root here in mid. Lahen's actually in a lot of trouble. Tries to get out of this one, but no flash and no life. Down he goes. Nice little pick and commit there from KT. And Perfect is able to get back and catch the wave on bot.
They know Lahen's there's no flash, and here's the thing. Leona may be tanky, but you're not tankier than an Alistar with ult. So when they go for that play, it's impossible really for Nongshim to turn it around onto Peter. And Lahen's does just end up going down. KT setting up this Herald now. Alex is,
Yeah, they say, you know what's better than Rift Herald is a Galio. Oh, he's gonna flash though. Maybe he gets away. No, he does not. Immediately, it's just a Jhin ult and it's a Talia. You're not getting away.
Not a great play. Because the thing is, they're still
Feats of Strength do go to KT on that objective, which comes very quickly before.
Speeding flashes for no reason when you're already dead.
Yeah. We've seen some players hold on to it, like Kingen at level 1.
Yeah.
But that hasn't been the more common of it, as Lahen's in the front line again. Gets a big heal from Kingen, but it looks like KT really want to fight for this one. A big wall comes down. Kingen pretty zoned here. You get a root onto Lahen's, who's just too low. Isn't really able to rejoin this fight. They do have some heals here from the Nidalee. They're trying to keep him up, but Peter wants this engage. He's got flash, he's got ult. He's just going to go in onto someone, procs the ult, but no real follow-up. Might just be a flip here on the Dragon. Let's see who it goes to. It goes to the Ezreal, of all people. That's going to be a nice Mountain Drake here for the side of Nongshim, but now Jhin ult comes out. And you see DuckDom trying to go for the snipes. They'll just go for that first target. Oh! The snipe out of the hands! As I don't know if they were distracted, but the blocking stopped from Gideon. and the hens was free food.
No! On either team to start a Batacan when there's a dragon in 2
Are they
minutes.
gonna defend?
Apparently not.
They're just like, nah, you know what? Never mind.
They didn't want that tower anyway.
He can. Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
That's embarrassing.
The shame.
They made it easier to drive as well.
Yeah, he did like a 360 and then he just hit the wall. Like,
what's
the point? Okay, we're going really ham here onto Duckdom, who's just trying to run away. Kingen finally gets here. The Kingen Nidalee TP, not the most effective, as now we even get the Pantheon over the top. Should be able to get Peter, you would imagine, who does not have his flash. That'll be a kill over to Gideon. So they used all that, and they got an Alistair.
Decent
I say
amount.
that. They are kind of wishy-washy about it.
I think they're waiting for Kingen to push in that bot wave, and he can rotate over and threaten. Which is why KT are kind of starting to rush this one. They know they have control now.
TP.
It's coming in.
And that engage on the Hens doesn't really work. He's still over half health as a Leona. I think he's just fine. True Shot Barrage does come in. Peter has to make the room, and it goes down to 75. It does go to KT, though, with the Jin. We got Equalizer trying to just zone, literally, as now Perfect. Gonna have to try to flash the wall. Cuz goes in. He's got BDD with him, but I don't know about this one. Has to flash out, as the Galio is able to peel for that. Nongshim kind of overstaying just a little bit, as we got this Jin ult coming in here as well. Gotta be so careful about sticking around with this. We have a big shield, and it's just gonna hit Calyx. And either way, the Dragon goes to KT.
Between these two teams. And again, like the major goal lead for Nongshim is on this Nidalee. But Gideon?
Yeah, Gideon in a lot of trouble. He's got a shield though, and the Galio over the top. It is Cuz that they're trying to go on to here on the backside. Is Nongshim Perfect comes in and he flashes away immediately. And now Peter, he's in. He presses that ult and a lot of damage is being done. They can't go on to Peter. Kingen goes in. I don't know about that. And now BDD goes over the top and gets taunted, but he flashes away. And so many summoners are used, but KT, they win the fight just barely.
KT getting so much value from these summoner spells, now looking towards the Baron. Gideon has ult and it's just gone back to base. Sorry, not Baron, looking towards the Yarakan.
Well, they could have tried, but I think that would have been too dangerous to do, Baron.
Yeah, I think the Nidalee, and we've seen in these fights, he's trying to make Teamfight 80 Nidalee work. Oh, engage.
Yeah, we're just making something happen here as BDD is very far away from the fight, but Gideon is so isolated that it doesn't matter. The rest of his 4 teammates just collapse on the Pantheon and take him down. And that is a pick. We do have some side laning here from Calyx.
Very strange win-up in a scenario where it's the Galio who's the split pusher, not the... Oh, no.
Here we go again, and Duckdom has been so on point with the deadly flourishes. Vital. Arcane Shift and Flash. It gets him away, but no flash, no barrier, and low on health.
Save him, but it just feels like Nongshim's starting to bleed out more and more. Third Dragon being picked up by KT. When a game is this close, any advantage built up is going to mean a squishy outside of his E, giving him the damage. Now look at the Perfect on the tower.
Might be able to do this actually, as he gets the shield, but now a bunch of damage did go into Gideon. He's trying to dodge everything, but the kill still goes over. Kingen will be taken down though, as BDD is able to collect that one. A little bit of a trade. Peter just going in, showing him who's boss.
I think ultimately Nongshim's still fine with that, getting the kill onto Perfect. Do force out the Weaver's Wall. All the hands.
Yep, they're finding him again. They do not care about engaging on this Leona. We have a Galio over the top, and Peter now in a very awkward spot, trying to taxi out of the Pantheon. That's not going to work. He's going down. And they went so deep.
That's
again for the Leona.
Nongshim have double global. You know, now the fact you have to kill him twice, a bit of a pain. You see Kingen trying to find pressure, but losing health in this trade initially. Oh,
we're going in on a Lehens again, but this time it makes sense because he's all alone, and there's no global. It was 9 seconds until Calyx is all.
Ward though, in the bowling alley of that Baron pit, will spot it. They do have vision there.
Perfect just leaving his lane. Looks like they want to turn onto this one. Calyx left all alone, and the amount of CC they have is ridiculous. Calyx is going to break his arm guard. Maybe just to buy some time and not allow them to get Baron, but I think they're getting Baron anyway.
He did have enough Azania, so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
But
that makes sense.
Yeah, Calyx could have flashed out initially. Like it was very telegraphed. They're going to go for the engage. Now the TP's committed. KT are like, we want to make this happen. I think Kingen, you should probably just stay and push bot. No, he's TPing.
I don't know what the CP is going to do. Peter's just zoning them away. Like, they can't really engage, but Pantheon is coming in here as well. He goes in, and he dies. I do not know what the idea was there, but the call was to go in after the Baron, and it did not work.
And right now, they have a goal lead. They have the Atakan advantage, the feature strength. It is in their favor, but it's not unwinnable for Nongshim.
Yeah. Duckdom 6-0-7. 4 items. This is a gigantic Jhin. But there are ways to deal with it. The Ezreal also pretty strong. Only 1,000 gold behind him for a Jhin that is that far ahead. As Calyx, very close on that one. A lot of damage does go into Duckdom. He's just going to open up on the ult as now Lahen's engaged. Not going to do much. No follow-up. Kingen is going deep for it. He really wants to take out the Jhin. And now we got a Pantheon over the top here too, but they can't take him out. Lots of low health bars, but it looks like KT are in the lead as Perfect is burning the Nidalee. VDD goes over the top with the wall, and that'll do it for that fight. They ace them, and they will win this one as they look to push mid.
Yeah, with Baron on hand, with those long death time, is able to clean out the fight and take the game. Both BDD, Duckdom, no deaths in this match, despite how chaotic and messy some of these fights were. Nongshim try and make the desperation play, try and make the 80 Nidalee assassination. It fails, and KT will end the game.
Yeah, not a big surprise, but I guess once you were committed to the fight, that's the only thing he really could have done. And yeah, they couldn't let them have the Mountain Soul. There were a lot of moments where maybe Nongshim could have taken this game, but slowly and surely.
Patches, she got nerfed.
It's not fair.
And she already wasn't seeing that much play in pro.
Yeah.
So I think Camille Sejuani solo queue.
Isn't that the truth? We do have a Sejuani nearby. Peter might be in a little bit of trouble. Probably going to have to flash here, but with the Sejuani, the stun comes in even after the flash, and he goes down. So First Blood goes on in. Lahen's tries to flash forward, but now Cuz is here. He's going to go in onto Lahen's, who goes down. We do have the stun, though, from the Sejuani once again, getting huge value. But now Duckdom's got a lot of room to move on up, as Gideon not going to be forced to flash. Little double up, maybe, but no mana, now that you said it.
This is just an example of the kind of thing that happened last game with that Baron play that Wolf was highlighting. You need to know when the objective is
already over to Nongshim, and they will enjoy that.
They can start this fight.
Yeah, bit of damage in as the ult comes down onto Cuz. He's in a lot of trouble, has to disengage. Here's Perfect, says hello. The charm, though, is huge on Lahen's, and he should be going down. That's a big pick for KT. As they want to get this third grub, they will. So that is at least 3 grubs over to Nongshim in trade for the death of Lahen.
And you went to Lethality Varus. I wouldn't want to chance that. Camille's TPing.
Okay. Well, he is Camille, and he's got Shen, but they're going in onto Duckdom. They do have, it looks like enough damage as Shen gets the kill. Lahen spits that one up. The ult goes in as now BDD shows up, trying to get some kills back because it's going to die first, and Kingen doesn't even die. Kingen lives on like no health, and now BDD, he gets frozen. He's going in, trying to find the Camille. Trying to find Kingen as hookshot was very interesting.
He was just a zoning hookshot. He's just spooking him. The play works. This is a submarine AoE damage on the fight. Kingen flashes out at the perfect moment. The Hens, unfortunately, cannot get away. For this shuffle, the stun that came through from Gideon sets it up for Calyx. And then Kingen, I don't know where's he's just zoning. He's just spooking him, you know, making him throw the CC at him.
Give him the thumbs up, you know, he was just... Uh-oh, Lahen's.
Okay, you're not fighting the dragon. Why are you there?
Well, it seems like Lahen's is fighting the dragon. Just wanted to channel his inner barrel for a little bit, you know?
Guys, look at the map. Look at where Sejuani and Azir are.
Oh boy.
Why are you watching them taking the dragon just so they can kill you?
But it's gonna spin away. They're gonna hit the eye, and the combo with the smite is enough. So Nongshim just get it.
Maybe able to get. I was gonna say get some prio on mid, but I think Nongshim should be able to move over. And that tower mid is a little bit...
Going in on the Sejuani, generally not a good idea. As Gideon, though, is getting pretty low, looking for that second Cyclone, but the Shen shield! I don't think it was actually needed. Maybe it was. Very, very close. Either way, Lahen's going to save his buddy.
Cuz could have secured that kill if he'd body block, and Nongshim are falling for it again and again. We will get the Herald charge comes in for the tower. That will be feats of strength for Nongshim.
All right, where's he going?
Can he get it out?
Have been. So I think it makes sense that they're not exactly clean today. again, a couple of weeks ago, I think everybody votes Nongshim, but this time Nongshim were actually the minority in terms of the predictions.
Yeah.
At least on the global side. To go in and when you're going to have the Shen ult, but at the same time, when you're actually fighting, it's very straightforward.
Yeah,
like, it's a 5v5.
You're not it's not like you have like a vote.
Okay, going in onto Peter here.
Nice stun.
Ooh, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble actually. Stun comes down, he's just stun locked 100-0.
Good play.
Can't do anything.
That's a good play. They finally, instead of just posturing, they actually look for something and they find a good angle. Lahen's leaving the CC, but they got to be careful now.
Uh-oh. Okay, that Charm was trying to predict his dash, and, well, it was just... BDD's just too fast. He's just too good.
Yeah, he saw the future, you know. Gideon was just chilling. That's the thing. Maybe he thought Gideon was, like, ready to dash immediately. Gideon's like, I'm fine. I'm a Sejuani.
Yeah. Now trying to fight for this one. They do not have Peter yet, who is trying to run over. But, I mean, the Drake is getting quite low already. Charm hits the Skull Crab. I don't think KT are getting in here. And, yeah, it's just going to be the Smite. Peter gets here.
Good secure.
Looks like they want to fight. Lahen's is going in. And he's in a bit of trouble, but he is just Shen. As the chains hit Duck Dom, but he cleanses. And now Peter's in a bit of trouble. He flashes, gets stunned up. As now we have Perfect in it. And a huge bullet time is going to take down Gideon. Although Perfect does get traded out as well, so a pretty even one. KT only get one ahead. Kingen thinking about it.
What?
Thinking about something.
You got the dragon.
Well, they wanted more.
I just feel like old play.
I mean, they have a lot of high health members.
Cuz is coming. He doesn't have Smite right now, though.
They can just zone him. They can just zone him as well. Cuz can't even get in. And the rest of the team, BDD trying to get in here. There's no Smite. It was so close. As BDD almost stole it with his Q.
I think Lahen's... Whoa.
Okay. Gets away. And Nongshim get away with the
Fight Shen in to get the Atakan.
Yeah. Whatever works, I guess.
Yeah. Very definitely positive.
Yeah, really trying to posture around the Drake. And again, this time the Charm's going to land, but he's way too deep. And so they're not going to go for that one. Perfect, trying to take this one up. And he is going to be chained down. He's actually getting quite low. There's the stun. Might be able to take him down. The shield not able to help him as he goes zombie. Peter goes in. The bullet time doesn't do quite enough. As now Kingen goes into that back line. And BDD can't do anything to save his AD carry. Nongshim just wiped them up right before the Baron spawns.
Nice fight played by Nongshim, getting the poke down, really starting to threaten KT, and KT didn't see a window to engage, never really found one. Lahen's will zone away the Ahri, and Nongshim looking better, looking like they might be able to close out this game cleanly.
I don't see this game going another 10 minutes, but I suppose anything is possible. If it was like GenG or Humble Life Esports, I'd say 100% this game is over. They just ended here, they got 2 minutes of Baron, and probably Nongshim are going to do the same. But we have seen some mistakes from our middle of the pack teams. It's that character growth we were talking about. Nongshim trying to push bot. They're going to lose their cannon, just trying to play it as safe as possible without overcommitting. Okay, well, Peter is going to go in there as Shen does go down. Gideon in a bit of trouble himself. Kingen, though, is in that back line, and he is just going to nuke down Duck Dom here. As Gideon, they finally do get him, but at what cost? As BDD not able to do enough. Vital stays alive, and Nongshim should be taking down this game too.
Good plays going out from Nongshim. Kingen getting the value on this Camille. Able to get 3 kills as well. That will put him over the threshold for 1,000 kills in the LCK. 6th top laner to get it. Huge achievement for him. And a good game from Nongshim. There was moments I was feeling a little bit tumultuous. Lahen's definitely playing a little bit over-aggressive, but they're calibrated, they locked in, they'll kill Peter here, and they're taking this to a game 3, as was promised.
Yes. We knew this was going to happen.
No fight, then, you know, Jinx, Lulu, I guess, are there. And then Nongshim, what engage do they have? What setup do they have for... Again, I feel like the fact that they've fallen behind, well, not fallen behind, but they've lost the lead they had earlier.
Oh, the turn on the Duck Dom, the Ignite coming down, should be the stun. There it is. Definitely a good trade. Will he get the kill on top of it? Doesn't look like it. Vital took a turret shot! Oh no! And that's going to be the end of him, and Lahen's just left there scratching his head. Can't do anything. It was fine until the turret shot came through.
But once again, seeing
Maybe
the struggle.
They get the dragon? Well,
I mean, Zaya down.
Like, Duckdom isn't in the fight, right? So Subjugate comes in, it's just a flip, it goes to Viego. Smites come down at the same time, now they're engaging with Engage Prom. They're going in,
oh,
and he gets TP'd out! And the disengage is there, and Perfect is just getting played. Calix, who is bot, is just going to be zoned away. There's no cross map here from Nongshim. It's just a full turret to KT. Meanwhile, Gideon's taking the game.
There you go. That's the strat. Do you see Calix has gone for the Ludens, which was made cheaper on this patch, so going for that earlier spike. BDD is looking.
Yeah, I mean, running into the jungle with Braum leading the way with 3 people. Even KT are going to have to respect that. You can see that KT are definitely setting this up. Like, they know how to play this kind of composition, whereas DRX were very much struggling to do so. Vital is alone here against the Jinx Lulu. He needs a bit of help, but now Cuz is here as well, so they're just getting zoned out of this. They're not able to do anything, and Lens is trying to keep the turret alive, but he might just die instead, as nobody's here to help him, and Vital was going the other way. Even Vital is going to have to ult. To add insult to injury, Duckdom also got the kill. And there was just no response from Nongshim.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to spin it. Tower goes down, kill secured, KT moving towards the Dragon. TP coming in, though. This is a flank from Kingen.
Yeah, the chomp comes in from Cuz. He is going to get it, and now they just turn on to Gideon, who is left alone. Kingen gets here a bit late. Still going to drop his ult down, but now everybody on the side of KT is here. And Cuz is just zoning Kingen away from his AD carry, and Calix just dies for free. It's perfect, actually. TP and the rocket hits Kingen in the face. And KT are loving life right now. They're going to take down this dragon, and Duckdom is 3-0-2.
This might be curtains for Nongshim. 5-0 now.
I don't know how they managed it. We're not in that team house, but they've certainly become the team we expected them to be.
Okay, this seems like a scary play, but the game is in a terrible spot. You have to make some gambles. And Nongshim are going to start up the Arakan. It's on 6k HP. They need to get this.
I mean, we see a ping in the top lane. I don't know if BDD's even TPing into this one. Rocket's coming through, and it's just going to hit Lehens, and the smite is easy for Nongshim, so they get away with it. BDD will get this top inner, but it was KT that elected to say, yeah, just give it over, we don't care.
Which is a great decision, and I feel like a lot of our weaker teams, something they've struggled with massively, honestly, even sometimes some of our stronger teams, is being willing to let go and say, hey, we don't need to fight this objective. We lose Arakan, and what? The game is still in a fantastic spot. They get a bit of extra adaptive force, a bit of XP.
Not leaving. They want to get this Chemtech Drake. Trying to stack up to that, get as many objectives as possible.
Do you see Kingen in the side lane trying to get some... Oh, Lehens.
Lehens, yeah, he took the Blast Cone over, and he is going to hop over to Gideon, who just isn't able to do much for him. So Lehens goes down. Only a second death, but no kills just yet for Nongshim, and it will be the Chemtech Drake.
It's actually a pretty great pillar from Cuz. I feel like the Trundle pillar is like an ability that has a weirdly high skill cap. Like
able to play around Duckdom, because for the first half of the season, they weren't able to play around Duckdom.
Yeah, I mean, it's been such a glow up. Like, both games he's been playing, both their wins he's been playing pretty fantastically. And to be honest, in their loss, I don't think there was that much he could do on the map. There was that one time he kind of stood next to TP, but...
Besides that, he's been great.
Yeah.
And this is obviously a very fun game for him. Just get fed, have a Lulu with Mikhails near you, and not be in very much danger, as Gideon now is going to have to ult over the wall and proceed to just die. Also, the missile was going to hit him, but BDD takes the kill away.
I mean, BDD's got to seek his arm guard and is so bulky, so hard to deal with. Perfect.
Just doing his job.
Yeah. He knows what to do, and he'll just keep that pressure up. So now Kingen has to hover over there, and Kingen is the best engage option, and he's not going to be here. They're going to be able to get this Baron, and with the Baron in pocket, run. Well, Rotem Masai run. But more importantly, it leaves Bro as the final boss for GenG to beat.
We got the engage. Kingen okay, well, he did it. He engaged, but the follow-up was very nice shockwave, actually, as Cuz is in a lot of trouble. He's going to be taken out, and now the Zaya is able to press forward, able to look for more, but Perfect and BDD are trying to get in here. Duckdom left all alone, can't do anything by himself, but still BDD and Perfect exists. A very messy fight, and a good one, actually, for Nongshim.
They managed to find the engage. They've been a lot of summer. TP. Oh, he's in the mixer.
He's just getting in there. He's going to keep them around for BDD, who's level 18. to zone them away.
I have never seen a more manly TP in my life. And Perfect, he's still ready to go.
Oh, man.
He's been like, I've been farming all game. I want to fight.
Let me do something.
BDD is like, you know, I'll take this inhib, I'll take this inhib. The top inhib's being threatened. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the engage actually worked from Nongshim, but I feel like it's too little too late. And Perfect exist, and they are very scary. Lens, unfortunately, fails the flash, does go down.
Yeah. Wasn't the best positioning from KT.
Yeah.
But it worked. Okay, he's just going in there, and he knows that he can just bounce everything off of both of them. And he had backup from his team. That's a very nice engage cone. BDD 5-0-2.
It's chaotic, honestly. BDD really wants to make sure he gets POM.
All right, they're engaging onto him once again, but he has the Lulu ult and the Duck Dom with him. And Vital will be taken out. There's the reset for the Jinx, and this game is over. As Calyx gonna get pillared eventually. Also, the Realm Warp, and no pillar actually does come through. So, no kill. And KT fans still won't believe until the Nexus falls. Probably a good call, I would say, but they're gonna do it this time around. In 30 minutes, KT do take game number 3 in a 2-1 scoreline.